Hello tarot lovers and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and on this channel we talk about building your spiritual confidence so you can listen to your intuition and read your tarot cards with ease. And today we are going to take a deep dive into the Hermit card. So I am going to be looking at the Rider-Waite-Smith version of the Hermit and explaining to you the very deep symbolism that's contained within this card that contributes to the meaning of the overall card. I'll be showing you my fabulous cheat sheets that will be available in my Etsy shop for those of you who are interested. Otherwise, we'll be taking a deep dive, a deep dive into the card and really understanding the value of the symbolism. For those of you who are new to symbolism, understanding those deeper meanings is going to help you not just to understand the Rider-Waite-Smith, but any deck you come across that uses traditional symbolism. I have found, since I have really understood the tarot symbolism, that I only have to walk into an art gallery and all the paintings are just jumping off the walls because all of a sudden I understand the deeper meaning contained in what I'm looking at. So hugely valuable in terms of if you're reading and you come, you know, when you get that reader's block where you just think, oh, I can't think of anything to say. It'll help you to slow down as you look at the cards and see those meanings and correspondences as you look across the spread that will give you those words to talk about. So I'm not going to talk much more about introducing this video. I think we're going to spin the camera around and I'm going to show you the Hermit card and talk about the deeper symbolism. So let's spin the camera around and I will see you in a minute. The card we are looking at today is the Hermit. Now I am using my giant tarot deck. I've got a link to these down in the description box if you would really like a big deck. I love the big deck because it just makes it easier to see what's going on. And I use these for teaching. And the same deck, of course, that I love to use is this little deck here. If you need to know what deck I think you should get to start learning the tarot, definitely start with Rider-Waite-Smith. It's where I've started. I will go on and teach you about other teachers of esoteric wisdom, particularly from the Golden Dawn, who have different ideas about the tarot. But we're starting with Rider-Waite-Smith, and I'm going to teach you as much as I possibly can about Rider-Waite-Smith before we move on to anything else, because I really think this deck, it is the most famous deck in the world. It is the most identifiable deck in the world. And I do think it is a deck that really gives you a very solid grounding in the tarot. Now, I have got my symbolism cheat sheets here, and if you would like to follow along with me, you can purchase these in my Etsy shop. There is a link to all of the bundles. I've got bundles where you can buy these on their own. They're just a basic cheat sheet. You can buy a set with both these and the worksheet that helps you internalize the meaning of the symbolism, or you can purchase all three. And these are my notes that I put together to do this symbolism series. And I knew as soon as I started this symbolism series that you'd all say, Elizabeth, can we please have the notes? So in anticipation of that happening, I put the notes together for you so that you would have some sheets to work on that would enable you to have a deeper understanding of the meaning. So I'm going to put this to one side while I go over the card, because the idea is we don't have to learn all this off by heart. What we need to learn is the essence of the meaning of the card. And so all the things I'm going to show you, all the symbolism in this card is designed to teach you that. And then from there, you are going to call on your own intuition, your life experience. How does this card relate to you? So that you, when this card comes up in a reading, you are so ready For the person you're reading for, whether it's yourself, whether it's a friend, whether it's a paid reading, you are so ready for them to hear the message that they need to hear from you. So let's get started, because there is, although this card looks very grey, and I must say grey is one of my favourite colours at the moment. I'm loving it. I'm wearing so much of it. It's gorgeous. It is a very grey card. It's very grey, and I'm quite sure when Pamela Coleman Smith painted it, it probably looked a lot more subtle. In fact, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this deck. I'm loving, loving, loving this deck. This is a Lo Scarabeo version of the deck, so they have their own colours. And let's just have a quick look and see if I can find the Hermit. Of course I can't. They're all mixed up. I thought they might have been in order. I often keep these decks that I use for teaching in order so that I can see, I can pull cards out quickly. And of course, did I do it this time? No, of course not. Actually, I'll let you see these as I go through. Aren't they gorgeous? I think they are discontinued. I don't think they're on the Lo Scarabeo site anymore. But if I can find some on Amazon, I will put a link in the description box for you so that you can, I might even do a review on these. They're just beautiful. I love the shading in them. It inspires me to maybe do a deck that's my own colours, you know, that I colour myself. Just beautiful. Just gives the deck such a lift when you come to reading it. And yet I feel these colours are still very true to what, where did I put it? Oh, I know, it might be over here. Ha ha ha, here it is. I pulled it out of the box when I pulled all the other cards out. So there you are. So there you can see maybe a little bit more of a graduation of colour. Just stunning when it has that lift. So let's have a look at the symbolism of this card. So this card is 9. So we are talking about expansion and awareness, which makes sense because when you look at the Hermit, he's looking inwards. This is a card about taking time out, but taking time out to look inwards inside yourself for the answers. So 9 is 3 threes. 3 is creativity and communication. It's about expanding outwards, but this is a card about looking inwards. So it's about this idea, 3 times 3, of having to go inwards into yourself in order to expand with greater awareness. That's what that's about. So it's a card of personal transformation, and it's not about loneliness. I mean, I had a friend say to me, "Oh, I'm scared of the tarot because when I was in a really bad place once, and I pulled a tarot card and the Hermit came out, and I thought, oh, I'm doomed to be alone forever." It's not about that. It's not about aloneness. It's about looking inwards. So actually, knowing her, it was the perfect card for her to have pulled, because what it was saying was, look inwards. Think about why you're in the place you're in. And of course, unfortunately, not knowing the cards and looking at, the common meaning of Hermit, she completely missed the message that the tarot had for her. This card is the Hebrew letter Yod. Please excuse my pronunciation of Yod. All of the people in my tarot community say it as Yod. I believe it's wrong, but I can't do the proper pronunciation. I've tried. It's something like Yod. I can't say it. So anyway, it's Yod, Y-O-D. And if you look on my sheet, it shows you the meaning is being in awe of your place in the universe. So the meaning of Yod is hand. So it's this idea that Yod represents, Yod represents God. It represents this idea of all that is and is not, all, infinite everything. Think about, when I think about God, I think about the universal energy. So it's everywhere and it's nowhere all at once. So the idea of Yod meaning hand is it's this idea that a little holds a lot. If you think about this idea of what you can hold in your hand, and I've got small hands, so I can't hold a lot. But, this idea of what you can hold in your hand, this idea of the universe in your hand, a lot, and yet not very much at the same time. So there are yods all the way through the tarot, and we will look at them as we go through. And every time the symbol of a yod is actually on a card, it's about that all and nothing, infinite energy, universal energy, that sort of thing. So the traditional meaning, again, of this card is inner guidance, looking inwards, consulting your inner guidance. If we look at the placement of the Hebrew letter on the tree of life, we go from the seraphot of chesed or mercy to Tipereth or beauty. So this idea of having compassion and mercy both with yourself and with those around you as you look inside for enlightenment. Classical element of earth, so this is a grounding element, and of course this card is about classical grounding yourself. Are you thinking about the practicalities of life? What's essential? What do you need? Getting rid of what you don't need and getting down to the basics. Zodiac of Virgo, loyal, analytical, kind, in the negative, maybe a little bit too critical, a little bit too finicky about life in general. So the idea of Virgo is this is about insight gained through solitude, reflection, feminine energy, and understanding what we need to reflect, put out into the world. So there's your main symbolism and how it all fits together, and each part of it, and again, this is not me, this is the Golden Dawn and the Golden Dawn attributions for the card, how these fit together to help you have a deeper understanding of the Hermit. If we look at the symbolism, the lamplight. So the lamplight is our awareness, our search for meaning, brightness, vitality. And again, I'm on the other side of my cheat sheet. And incidentally, if you purchase a cheat sheet from my Etsy shop, and all of my cheat sheets are very reasonably priced, it does help to support my channel and the work that I do. So there will be a link in the description box to go over to my Etsy shop and have a sticky beak at all of the things that I have over there. And of course, also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter list, because that's where all the goodies happen. So again, you've got this brightness amongst the, in the grey sky, which represents this idea of withdrawal from the world, concentrating on what's essential, but also grey can also symbolize confusion. You're confused. Why are you confused? Because you haven't taken time out to look inwards and be aware of your own inner needs and way of being in the world. The white beard can represent potency. It can be a symbol of disguise or being in hiding, which, I know my grandfather never liked a man with a beard. He used to say, well, what's he hiding? It's a very old-fashioned symbolism. But also a white beard, if you think about Gandalf and Dumbledore and all of those wizards and mages of absolute wisdom, they often, if they're male, have a long white beard. So it's this idea of of wisdom, but it's like a pure wisdom because white, of course, represents purity. The snow is like a blank slate, like a piece of paper that we can write on and start anew. Snow also very traditionally represents cleansing. So this idea of slowing down, taking time out, looking inwards and cleansing yourself. Other symbolism in the card, the clothing and the lantern and the staff represent this search for meaning. Yellow in the tarot is vitality. And if it's yellow sky, of course, we talk about going too close to the sun and pushing things too hard. But here I think this is just about this juxtaposition between the grey and the yellow, this idea of looking inwards. You're on a spiritual journey, but you're looking inwards. You're not looking out. The macabre star, or the Star of David, is formed by two triangles. One points to heaven and one points to earth. And I did read a lot about the macabre star, and it's not coming to me at the moment, other than it represents feminine and masculine energy. And it is a 3D star that is within us, that spins, and it represents our universal energy. So we're talking about the light within us. And I think that is it. I've talked about the Hermit's gaze. He looks inwards and outwards, symbolizing looking at the future and looking within us for answers. But to me, his eyes are closed. He's looking downwards and in. So he's looking to the answers that we all have within ourselves if we could just find them. So that is the Hermit. I hope that has been super helpful to you. I have got the Wheel of Fortune here to show you. And again, this is from my basic recommended deck. These are all in my Amazon shop too, so I'll make sure that there is a link there in the description box for you to go and pick up that deck if you don't have one. And the Wheel of Fortune will be our next card. This card is absolutely laden with symbolism, and a lot of the symbolism that is in this card repeats and repeats and repeats all the way through the deck. So it's a good card to actually understand. So that is it for the Hermit card. I do hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.